The truth is that for many years I lived a life that didn't reflect my true purpose, until suddenly the universe took everything from me. Overnight, what hurt me the most wasn't the financial loss or the shame, but the loneliness. No friends, no partner, no one to trust. This emptiness led me to seek answers about the meaning of loneliness and what it truly represents for the chosen ones. I discovered that for those called to a higher purpose, loneliness is not a punishment, but an invitation to awaken extraordinary abilities that most people are unaware of. If you are a chosen one, you know that moments of isolation are much more than simply being alone. They are opportunities for deep transformation. It is in solitude that you find yourself discover hidden strengths and awaken powers that few can understand. Here are 5 superpowers that the chosen ones acquire during their periods of solitude, which they rarely share with others. 1. Ice head, steely nerves, and emotional control. Solitude is a barren and silent land, but it is where the chosen are molded. It is no wonder that this gift, the ice head, is rare and misunderstood. For many, the coldness of the chosen seems like inhumanity or insensitivity. But what few know is that behind this serenity lies an intense battlefield where the soul of the chosen has been forged in the heat of solitude and direct confrontation with their darkest shadows. Imagine a place where external voices are silenced, and the only company is the thoughts that echo incessantly. In this silence, the chosen are forced to face themselves. Without masks, there are no distractions, nowhere to run. It is a duel against the oldest fears, insecurities rooted since childhood, and the pains life has inflicted. It is as if the chosen one is taken to a spiritual desert, an inhospitable space where emotions are amplified, and the mind incessantly tries to escape the harsh reality of the self. This desert is like a refining furnace. Think of the story of Jesus, who isolated himself for 40 days and nights in the desert without food, without water, facing the deepest temptations. The devil appeared, offering what many would consider a dream: power, wealth, and ease. But Jesus, in his solitude, demonstrated that his control over himself was stronger than any worldly offer. This test was not just about resisting external temptations, but about strengthening the spirit so that nothing could divert him from his purpose. Similarly, the chosen ones are taken to their own deserts, where they face not an external enemy, but internal temptations. Solitude amplifies the inner voices, the fear of failure, the shame of the past, the feeling of inadequacy. Each of these feelings becomes a real adversary. It is a battle where the chosen must decide between surrendering to despair or rising with a strength that only isolation can provide. This transformation does not happen instantly. Think of an alchemical process where lead is transformed into gold. So it is with the chosen ones. They go through a continuous process of emotional purification where each painful experience is analyzed, understood, and transmuted into wisdom. During these solitary moments, the chosen one becomes their own alchemist, working tirelessly to transform their anger into compassion, their frustration into patience, and their fears into courage. Visualize a scene. A chosen one, sitting alone, staring at a white wall. There are no distractions, no screens, no sounds besides their own heartbeat. In this oppressive silence, memories resurface, past mistakes reappear, and doubts about the future intensify. This is when the real work begins. The mind tries to flee, but the chosen, with almost military discipline, brings the focus back to themselves. It is a daily training, like a spiritual warrior, preparing tirelessly for battles that no one else sees. While many seek immediate relief in conversations, social networks, or other forms of distraction, the chosen faces everything head-on. They learn to calm their minds, take a deep breath, and let emotions flow without clinging to them. Each solitude session is a lesson in self-mastery. At first, chaos reigns, but Over time, the chosen one becomes the master of their inner kingdom, where storms may come, but never topple their fortress. This ice head is more than emotional control. It is a form of survival. The chosen ones know that to fulfill their purpose, they need to be resilient in a way that most cannot understand. It is not that they do not feel pain, but they have developed the ability not to surrender to it. Like trees that bend with the wind but do not break, the chosen ones adapt, adjust, and remain standing. In practice, this icehead manifests in various ways. When the world around them is panicking, the chosen one remains serene. In heated discussions, they are the ones who speak little, but with a precision that cuts like a sword. They understand that not all battles are worth fighting, and that often the true victory lies in not reacting. This practical wisdom is a rare superpower, as few can tame their emotions to this level. The peace that the chosen find is not the absence of conflict, but the mastery over what affects them. It is a peace that was hard, won through unseen tears and silent prayers. While many spend their energy trying to change the external world, the chosen dedicate themselves to changing themselves. They understand that true power lies in what no one can take away: control over their own spirit. 2. X-ray vision, the ability to see beyond appearances. There is something peculiar about the chosen that distinguishes them from others. A vision that goes beyond the obvious. It is not about seeing with physical eyes, but with the eyes of the soul. This X-ray vision power is more than a metaphor. It is a spiritual ability, developed in solitude when the chosen become silent observers of the world and people around them. In the quiet, far from distractions that confuse most, the chosen sharpen their sensitivity to perceive what others hide, while many live only on the surface of things. The chosen dive deep, capturing subtleties and details that escape common vision. Imagine being in a room full of people, each wearing a carefully molded mask. They smile, talk, and interact, but only superficially to the chosen one. These masks are transparent. They see the cracks, the contradictions, the hidden emotions that escape in a quick glance or an involuntary gesture. This reading ability is like having a sixth sense that alerts the chosen to what is really happening around them. The chosen do not develop this X-ray vision by accident. It is a gift cultivated in the loneliest moments when they observe human behavior without filters. It is as if the world becomes a grand stage and the chosen one, an attentive spectator, capturing every movement, every word spoken, and more importantly, what is not said during these periods of introspection. The chosen hone their perception. They learn to read people's energy, to feel hidden intentions, even when words are sweet and gestures friendly. Think of Jesus, who in front of the Pharisees and doctors of the law saw more than their luxurious clothes or words of wisdom. He called them whitewashed tombs. Beautiful on the outside, but full of rot inside. Jesus was not deceived by appearances because his spiritual vision allowed him to see the true heart of people. Similarly, the chosen, after many years of silent observation, develop the ability to discern what is authentic from what is false. This ability is invaluable protection in a world where intentions are not always clear. This vision goes beyond words. Often the chosen feel the environment even before anyone speaks. It's that feeling of entering a place and instantly sensing the energy of the space, whether it's heavy, light, tense, or welcoming. This happens because the chosen not only see with their eyes, but feel with their hearts. This deep connection with the environment and people is a rare gift that allows the chosen to navigate the world more safely, avoiding traps and toxic relationships. Imagine being in front of someone who smiles but harbors resentment. Inside, most people would accept the smile as genuine, but the chosen perceive the dissonance. They see the weight on the shoulders, the diverted gaze, the silence between words. All of this forms a larger picture that the chosen reads like an open book. This ability makes them almost immune to lies, and manipulations, because nothing hidden remains so for long before their sharp vision. One of the secrets of the X-ray vision of the chosen ones is that they have already faced their own demons, and therefore they recognize them when they see them in others. Solitude acts as a master, training the chosen to observe without immediately judging, but with discernment. They do not rush to conclusions because they know the truth often lies in deeper layers. This patience in observing and waiting reveals an uncommon inner strength, because the chosen are willing to see what many prefer to ignore in the Bible. Jesus shows us an example of this discernment. When he meets the Samaritan woman at the well, he sees beyond her appearance and words revealing truths about her life that she herself tried to hide. The woman was astonished, not only because he knew her story, but because he saw what was in her heart. The chosen reflect this same ability. They not only see the outside, but can read the soul. This ability to see beyond appearances also allows the chosen to identify kindred souls, those who, like them, have a journey marked by truth and depth. When two such souls meet, the bond is immediate, because both recognize authenticity in each other. It is as if their energies naturally align without the need for excessive words or explanations. In silence, they develop an almost supernatural sensitivity. They can feel when someone is in conflict, even if their words say otherwise. They perceive the hidden pain in a smile and the fear disguised as bravery. This deep connection with the truth is what sets them apart from 80% of people, who often get lost in appearances and deceptions. For the chosen, seeing is much more than looking. It is feeling, perceiving, and understanding. 3. Hypermalaria insecurities and distractions. The chosen ones find in solitude the perfect ground to cultivate a sharp, focused, and decisive mind. This clarity is like an internal compass that always points in the right direction, guiding the chosen one through life's complexities with a precision that confounds others. What most people don't realize is that this hyper-clarity doesn't happen overnight. It is the result of countless moments of introspection where the chosen, isolated from external noise, are forced to confront the true nature of their thoughts and desires. It is a constant refining process, like polishing a rough diamond until it shines to its fullest potential. When the world around them is reduced to silence, the chosen learn to distinguish between what is essential and what is irrelevant. Silence is the best friend of clarity in solitude. The chosen find the less in a state where they must deal with the avalanche of thoughts that are usually muffled by daily distractions. Imagine sitting in an empty room with no sounds besides your own breathing. The mind initially tries to fill the void with memories, worries, and internal dialogues. But over time, this mental noise begins to diminish. Thoughts organize, and chaos gives way to order. It is like a turbulent sea that, after the storm, becomes calm. And crystal clear, this clarity allows the chosen one to see things as they really are, without distortions caused by emotions or fear. Think of Moses on Mount Sinai, isolated from the crowd, receiving direct instructions from God on how to guide the people. The clarity he acquired at the top of the mountain, away from all distractions, gave him the strength to make decisions that impacted generations. Similarly, the chosen find in the solitary heights of their minds the guidance needed to navigate their challenges. The chosen one learns to make peace with silence, and this silence becomes the stage where all truths are revealed. There is nowhere left to hide their intentions, fears, or insecurities. Each decision is confronted, analyzed, and refined until only what is pure and true remains. It is in this process that the chosen ones develop the ability to make quick, almost instinctive decisions, because they have already trained their minds to act with clarity and conviction. This hyper-out-clarity manifests in the chosen practical lives in impressive ways. When faced with a complex situation, their mind does not get lost in a maze of possibilities. On the contrary, they can quickly discern the best path, like a blade that cuts straight to the point. This decision-making ability is not based on impulsivity, but on a deep knowledge of themselves and their priorities. The chosen also act like this. Their decisions may seem unusual or even abrupt to those who do not understand the depth of their clarity, but they know that each choice carries a weight and a consequence, and they do not allow themselves to be paralyzed by indecision. This ability to cut what is unnecessary and focus on the essential is what sets them apart, making them figures of action in a world of hesitance. Solitude, which so many avoid, becomes the forge where the chosen ones perfect their minds away from the opinions of others and the chaos of everyday life. They find the necessary space to reflect and reassess their lives. They analyze their steps, question their choices, and most importantly, learn to trust themselves. Each decision made in solitude is an exercise in self-confidence, and over time, this confidence transforms into an almost supernatural clarity for pain sensor, deep empathy with others. One of the most powerful gifts of the chosen ones is the ability to feel the pain of others so deeply that it seems almost supernatural. It is as if the chosen have an invisible sensor that captures hidden emotions, unspoken sufferings, and fears that people hide even from themselves. This pain sensor does not arise by chance. It is developed in the loneliest moments when the chosen ones are forced to face their own pain without filters or distractions. This personal confrontation creates a visceral connection with human suffering, making them not only empathetic, but true readers of the soul of others. While most people are immersed in their own challenges, the chosen ones have the unique ability to transcend this barrier and connect with the pain of others. They do not just see the surface, they feel what is beneath, as if the pains of others were extensions of their own. It is a gift that brings both weight and healing, because deep empathy is a constant invitation to carry others' burdens, even if invisibly. To understand the chosen pain sensor, one must first comprehend the process they go through in solitude. When isolated, they are confronted with their own emotions at a raw and intense level. There are no distractions to soften the sharp edges of sadness, fear, or anxiety. Each feeling is experienced in its fullness with no escape. It is in this deep dive into their own pain that the chosen learn to identify the nuances and shadows that make up human suffering. Imagine being in a dark room where each corner holds a piece of your history that you would rather forget in the silence. These memories come to life, and the chosen are forced to face, each one of them, this direct confrontation with their vulnerabilities. Teaches the chosen a fundamental truth: everyone carries their own wounds. And it is this awareness that opens the door to genuine empathy, because they recognize in others the same kind of pain they have already faced in themselves. The empathy of the chosen is like an always active spiritual antenna, picking up subtle signals that others emit without realizing it. When someone is going through a tough time, this pain manifests in ways that most do not notice: a lost gaze, a forced smile, a silence that weighs more than it should to the chosen. These signals are as clear as spoken words. They perceive the tension in the shoulders, the hesitation in words, and even the missing sparkle in the eyes. These are clues that reveal an internal world that few are willing to show. This ability to feel what is unspoken is a rare gift that allows the chosen ones to connect deeply with those around them. It is as if, when looking at someone, the chosen one can see through layers of defenses, reaching directly to the core of pain. It is not uncommon for people to feel immediate relief in the presence of a chosen one, even without understanding why. They feel seen, understood on a level they barely experience, as if there was finally someone who truly understands, without the need for explanations. This gift is not just about feeling others' pain, it is about turning this perception into a source of wisdom and connection. The chosen ones use their pain sensor as a compass to guide their interactions. They know when someone needs a comforting word, when silence is the best response, or when simply being present is enough. This wisdom, acquired in solitude, makes them not just empathetic, but spiritual guides for those around them. This ability makes the chosen sought after by people looking for support even without fully understanding why. It is as if intuitively they know that the chosen one can offer a kind of invisible healing. They are the confidants who listen without judging, the counselors who offer a new perspective without imposing their opinions. This deep empathy is what makes the chosen true beacons of light in a world full of emotional darkness. 5-time alchemists, transforming solitude into wisdom and joy, the chosen possess a rare and precious ability, the capacity to transform solitary time into something extraordinary for them. Loneliness is not a burden, but a spiritual laboratory where the lead lay of sadness transmutes into the gold of wisdom and joy. This time alchemy is one of the chosen most sublime superpowers because it allows them to find a home within themselves where silence becomes a sacred space for growth and self-discovery. While many flee from loneliness, constantly seeking the company of others or distracting themselves with the world's noise, the chosen embrace isolation as a divine opportunity. They realize that in the quiet, they find the necessary space to reflect, meditate, and connect with the deepest part of their being. It is in this silence that the magic happens, and time, which for many is a weight, becomes a treasure of possibilities for the chosen. Being alone is like entering a daily spiritual retreat, even in the midst of ordinary life. Solitude becomes a portal for introspection, where each moment is a chance to dive into the depth of their own emotions, thoughts, and aspirations. It is in this quiet space that they begin to perceive the layers of life that usually go unnoticed by most. The alchemy of the chosen goes beyond the simple acceptance of solitude. It is an active process of transformation. They do not just tolerate being alone, they celebrate these moments as opportunities for growth. Like the medieval alchemist seeking to turn common metals into gold, the chosen ones work tirelessly to transmute their life experiences into wisdom. This process involves deep dedication to reflection, prayer, and connection with the divine. Think of the figure of the hermit, often depicted in art, as someone who withdraws from the world to seek inner truth. Although the chosen do not necessarily need to physically isolate themselves, they carry this mindset. They understand that true wealth is not found in material possessions or external approvals, but in the peace and wisdom they cultivate within themselves. This is the true alchemy, turning alone time into a journey of self-discovery and joy. While many go through life without truly pausing to reflect, the chosen ones use solitude to ask important questions. Who am I? What is my purpose? How can I better serve the world? These questions fuel their search for meaning and guide them towards a life lived with purpose. They know that when time is well spent, every experience, no matter how simple, can become a valuable lesson. This ability to create a home in their own company is one of the greatest achievements of the chosen ones. They become emotional independent, not out of coldness, but because they have discovered the inexhaustible source of love and acceptance that resides within each of us. They do not seek outside what they have already found within, and for that reason they live with a lightness and joy that transcends circumstances. So, my friends, the chosen have a special way of turning the game of solitude in their favor. Instead of getting lost in silence, they find a source of strength. And even joy. They turn alone time into moments of pure connection with themselves and emerge even stronger. And have you ever thought about what solitude could teach you if you let it be your ally?